Information.
What is going on? Welcome to the Bleed and Burgundy podcast. It is Saturday, July 31st, and we are coming at you straight from Richmond, Virginia. Training camp just finished up. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Keith Gray. Keith, how you doing, buddy?
Good, sir. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Tired, man. I'm super tired.
Yeah, man, it's been an exhausting couple of days. Yesterday was hot as fuck outside. I think it got up to like 96 or 97. But all in all, man, it has been a fun trip. We've had a great time, and yeah, man, what have your overall thoughts of the weekend?
Do me a favor. Go ahead and throw your mic on mute, just because I do hear a little bit of feedback.
Gotcha. We are in the same apartment, but Keith's feet really smell, so we didn't want to record side by side.
Cool. Much better. So to answer your question, listen, man, this is the for a lot of the folks that listen, this was the first time I've ever been to a training camp. Let me just start off by saying the reason why. For years, I never really wanted to come down here by myself. I mean, in my family, as everyone knows, my wife is an Eagles fan. I live in Eagles country. So not too many folks on my side is, near me. So it wasn't until really I got introduced into the Twitter world and got into the Redskins Twitter, now Washington football team Twitter. And it's been a wild ride for that. So this year was the first year, just because I've engaged with so many people, and a lot of people, have embraced me in so many different ways, that meeting you, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get sentimental, and but to be in all seriousness, I mean, meeting you was motivation to come out here. You've done this before. Let's give this thing a try, and let's have a good time. And like I said, also engaging with a lot of other podcasters. I knew a lot of folks were going to be out here, so it was the motivation for me to come drive out here and give this a shot. And boy, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, man. One of my favorite things is putting the actual faces to the names that we always have conversations with on Twitter. I was really reluctant at first. Like, we had people come up to us and just like tap us on the shoulder, and you're like, oh man, who are you? And they're like, oh, I'm Steve. All right, what's your Twitter handle? Blah 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 blah. And oh, okay, I know who you are now. But yeah, it was it was great. It felt like the floodgates has opened as far as the fandom side of this goes, because we've been a whole entire year without being able to go to a game, without being able to congregate with fellow fans, and to talk about the team that we love so much. I mean, it was just wonderful. It was really cool to get out there, and the people that we met. And Rio said it best. Actually, the people that, like, from the other podcasts, they're exactly who we thought they were. There was no no hiding, like no different people trying to put off a different persona. They are who they are. And it was just great to put faces to names, and just to be out there. It was a wonderful time. And of course, meeting you for the first time, it's we've talked hundreds of times, gone back and forth, had plenty of podcasts through Zoom. But just being able to be in the same vicinity, and this joke carry on, make fun of each other, and all that shit was really cool, and I take it to heart, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to keep getting sentimental on this, but I think that's kind of what this episode really is going to be, to be honest with you. Listen, a lot of the folks that I met, they were younger than me, right? And they kind of, makes me feel good that a 42-year-old dude could really intermingle with some, 20-year-olds, some 30-year-olds, and not feel out of place. There was not one time where I felt out of place. One thing I did do was be authentic, be me. This is who I was in high school. This is who I was in college. This is who I was, you know, through the years, and I haven't changed one bit. So just because I'm at the age of 42 doesn't mean I'm going to change my personality. I'm going to be like this when I'm 50 and 60 years old, you know? And at the end of the day, when I say like this, it just means having a good time, man, being corny with jokes and just trying to make people laugh. That's what I do. And I think that I was a little bit successful, but like I said, I think what I'm taking out of this training camp, and I know people really don't want to necessarily hear all this sentimental, BS that we're spewing, but I truly am taking on some friendships out of this experience. And if anybody even came to me for actual expert analysis on football, you're listening to the wrong guy. Listen to John, listen to Jessy. I know about it. I'm not an idiot, but I'm just not good at talking about it. And I don't want to pretend like I am Mr. Know-it-all, because I'm not. There's still, a lot of things that I've learned in the past few years just from reading other people's takes on certain things. So, my goal of this training camp, was, I want to see what's going on the field and enjoy that. But also at the same time, it really was just, meeting these people that I've talked to for so many years now that, when we'd all argue and fight, it was like, oh, we're arguing over Twitter. No, now it's like legit. Like if we argue, this is like friendship arguing. This is, bantering back and forth because we've got to personally meet these people. So I wouldn't give up this experience. In the world, it's definitely top 5 of one of my good times, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. When we both got here, I mean, you came on Thursday night and you went out to dinner with Rio and Parker and them. Then I got here Friday morning. We parked, we came right up, just waited in line just a few minutes, and they let us in. And like the first thing that you noticed when you came into the park was the atmosphere was uplifting. And in years past, it has not been like that. I've been to many camps, not only here but in Ashburn as well too. It just hasn't been like it has in the past. The ambassadors there, not the fan ambassadors, but the volunteers that kind of security that secure the area and to tell you where you need to go, what you can do. They were actually nice. They had a smile on their face. They would crack jokes with you. And it was just all in all a pleasant experience from top to bottom. And when you come in and you see Joey Kobe Begovic's smiling face, it just warms your heart, really, man. It does. And all the hard work that they're doing to change the narrative of this franchise, you can see it working. I mean, from top to bottom, you can see it working. It was just, it was great. And on Friday, there wasn't a whole bunch of people here. I would say probably about 2,000 or 2,500 people here. You could see everything. We were lucky enough to get VIP passes and got to go mingle around with other folks. I met my childhood the legend himself, Gary Clark. I mean, he's my all-time favorite Redskin. I got a picture with him. It was just like a kind of like kids in a candy store, just to marvel at it all, and just to be a close access. Now, you couldn't get as close, to the players or to the field as you could in years past, but COVID rules. This is totally understandable. You couldn't get autographs, which sucked, but it's understandable. We get that. But just the experience itself, it was so pleasant, man. And everybody was so pleasant. The fans were so pleasant. It didn't matter if you knew them on Twitter or not. You can strike up a conversation with just anybody, and they were in good spirits. And it's just so unlike. I know you have never been to a training camp before, so it's kind of hard to explain how the difference it is from then until now. And I'll tell you what, man, it is going in the right direction, and fans should be excited about that.
Yeah, I totally agree 100%. I mean, listen, it didn't matter what area we were in. It could be standing out line waiting, or standing outside waiting to get in. It could be on the commoner side. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. I actually like that side better, to be honest. But you could strike up a conversation over there. And you were, just talking to good people on that side. You could be in the kids portion where they had things out there for the kids, which I thought was pretty cool as well. There was a lot of kids that came out yesterday, so I like to see that connection, coming back where they provided. Now, I don't know if they did that in years past. Maybe they did. Yeah, and I know you can speak on that here in a second, but it was encouraging to me in that aspect because, I have a 10-year-old. He might just be interested in hopping in that bounce house, but there was other activities there for the smaller kids as well too. Who knows, I might bring my then 6-year-old, so that was very important for me to see. And then, just like I said, it just didn't matter what area we were in, man. We were encountering great people. And I think that when you put all of that, everything that you and I have just said, and you put that all together, makes it damn cool to be a fan. Makes you want to be a fan. My eyes kind of opened up a little more. I did used to be that fan where if we won, fantastic, excellent. If we lost, I hated this team, right? And then I would hate them even more because they've been losers for the past 25 years, right? It's a little bit different now, and I can kind of see different, point of views that I never got to see before. Sometimes when you have that fan interaction, right, and you have these types of experiences, it's a little bit more than just football, and that's kind of what I saw today. So, yeah, it sucks when we lose, and it's going to suck this year when we lose a game, but I think the blow is going to be a little bit easier when you know that you have a bunch of people that you're now friends with that you can fall back on. So to me, I think that is super important. It's I wouldn't say it's changed me, but it does give me a different perspective. And now I think that I can, be fair later on down the road, when it comes to this.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Very, very well said. I want to kind of just to move into the football aspect of it for a moment, and just kind of want to highlight some observations that I saw. I got to tell you guys and gals, Landon Collins came to play. He was all over the field, and it's amazing. 7.5 months after he tore his Achilles heel, he is back in. To be honest with you, he's better than he was before. It looks like he even had an interview with Rhiannon Walker of The Athletic, and he feels better. He looks better than before the injury. I just think it's crazy amazing that you can come back. I mean, Achilles was at least a year injury, a year before you could touch the football field. Everybody expected him to start on PUP, where you saw Cameron Curl and Landon Collins on the on the field at the same time. And this goes back to what I've been saying for the past couple months now. We are probably going to see a lot of 4-2-5 sets. That's 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive back sets coming. And the defense, as many can expect, in the first part of camp, they are ahead of the offense. I think St. Juice is going to be a player as well. I didn't really see a whole bunch of Jamin Davis. I know people want to know a lot about him, but I also didn't see a whole bunch of Bostic. So I think that's a good thing in my eyes. And you guys know how I feel about John Bostic. Moving on to the offensive side of the ball, this wide receiver a battle is something that's going to be crazy. We know that Curtis Samuel is on the COVID list. He was, started on PUP anyways because of the growing pull, which was a little bit worrisome. But the start of camp, not too bad. But COVID is a real thing right now, and we just saw Brandon Sheriff get pulled off the field today, and was got moved to the COVID list, as well as David Sharp. We are still below. We're us in Indy are below 70% fully vaccinated, but some good news coming down the pipeline. There's more players that are getting vaccinated every day. Also heard somebody, I'm not sure who it was, saying that they saw players actually getting vaccinated at the CVS down the road. I'm not sure if there's what truth to that. But I guess that's encouraging. I'm not sure why they wouldn't get vaccinated at the facility, because they had him there. But this wide receiver a push is going to be something to watch. Terry was amazing, as always. We saw some really, really good work out of Diami Brown and Adam Humphries. I don't give a fuck what you think is making this goddamn football team. He's a roster lock, and there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. He's on the team, period, exclamation point, 5,000 times over again. Keith, what do you say to that? You're still on mute.
Yeah, and what was the last thing that you said? I'm sorry.
About the wide receivers.
You were talking about the wide receivers. Sorry, I was having technical difficulties. Your default speaker has changed to headphones. Okay, so I'm good. All right, cool. Listen, all of them looked good, in my opinion. I didn't really see any downfall. I think there's a lot of competition there, and I think it's going to be a tough decision on who we're cutting, in my opinion. What I did like was, after the practices, one of the guys that you saw out there still practicing was Kelvin Harmon, and Fitz was throwing him the ball, right? That to me was kind of a telltale that, decisions definitely Fitzpatrick, but that's just me guessing, I guess you could say. But Harmon's taking this seriously, man. And I can tell you, I've seen a lot of wide receivers in the past, seen a lot of small ones. Wide receivers to me have always looked small, right? These guys look huge, man. I couldn't believe how big Harmon was. I couldn't believe, just the size of these guys just in general. But it's going to be a tough call on the wide receiver front, because these guys are out there. They're fighting for positions, man. And I liked what I saw.
Yeah, no doubt. Harmon looks fast. And if everybody remembers, when he did play, he was kind of slow, but he used his big body to get him in the right position. But he's looking really good, and that battle between him and AGG. I'm sorry, AGG ain't doing much, man. And a lot of people are wanting to give AGG one more year. But to me, if it was a choice between them right now, it's Harmon. It's not close. It's not even close. One thing kind of bad that I saw that I did not like whatsoever. And I told, I mentioned this before that, I was really keeping my eye on special teams and who's going to be our punt and kick returner. They still have Steven Sims Jr. Catching kicks, and that worries the living shit out of me. I do not think he's going to make the team, so I'm not going to try to get caught up in that. That's just what we saw. We were there for 2 days, and to be honest, we were, the time that we did see. I mean, they're only on the field for about an hour and a half. Doing drills, you can't get a whole lot out of doing drills. We paid attention to the 11 on 11, and most of the time we were just kind of mingling and checking out the sites and the people and everything like that. But I did want to touch on a little bit of football. And I will say this again, that Ryan Fitzpatrick is and will be the starting quarterback. The competition is going to be between Heineke and Allen for that second spot. And Allen went down today, messed up his ankle, did not finish the rest of practice. We don't think it's that serious, but Heineke's not really looking all that good. He's made some plays, but so is Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick still has some fucking wheels too. They were doing some what I think was goal line work. They could have been down at the 15 or 10-yard line, but he scooted around and scrambled for that touchdown, and that was amazing. You wanted to say something, buddy?
Yeah, I actually wanted to take it back to the wide receiver core. I agree. Listen, you guys are going to have to forgive me. My brain is everywhere. So at the moment when I was talking, I didn't think of it. I agree with you 100%. If I had to guess wide receivers getting cut, it would be AGG for sure. He was the quietest one of them all. But ultimately, as a core, I found them all to do, pretty well. Now, kicking back to the quarterback situation, it was very interesting because when we got there not when we got there, but the rumors were tossing around that, Heineke had a good start to a camp. And one of the questions I asked some of the fans there, that were there when we weren't was, how was the crowd reactions, to Fitzpatrick, to Heineke? Heineke was getting a lot of the love because he was doing well. And ultimately, a lot of people want to see that, right? Then Heineke finished, and what we saw, Heineke had terrible camp towards the end. And it was, again, once camp was over and Harmon was still out on the field while everyone was talking to Chase and Montez, in the background there, you had Fitz, throwing to Harmon. And that's actually what I was paying attention to more. I wish I would have gotten video of it, but I kind of felt like, I know no one was saying, hey, don't get video of that type of stuff, but not everything has to get videoed. You know what I mean? And thrown on Twitter, so to speak, to discuss something. But what I saw, if Fitzpatrick was out there putting extra reps, it wasn't for a long time, but it was nice to see. And let me tell you, Harmon was snagging them balls, and they were running a couple different routes, while doing so. Man, Harmon makes this team. There's no question about it. The guy looked explosive to me.
Yeah, I know you didn't want to take video of that, but I did. Yeah, no doubt. Harmon looks like a different player than he did in the past, and that's exciting. I remember the workout videos that he put out, when he was doing some rehab. I was like, I don't know, man. He doesn't have that push off. That's not the case anymore. He looks good, and you're right. We have some big bodied receivers finally, in Cam Sims and Kelvin Harmon. I think our receiver room is going to be good. And you're right. A lot of the fans, the Heineke hive is real, and there's no denying that. Not all fans, watch and listen to everything that we do, because we live this shit. And they want a piece of the past, and I get it. I totally get it. They saw the game against Tampa Bay, and they want to see more of that, and that's totally understandable. But the reality is that's not the reality. The reality, this is Fitz's team. He's taking control. He's taking the control of the receivers room. Even Taylor came out yesterday and said that Fitz has taken him to the side and has helped him so much, especially when during his struggles, and giving him pointers, and he appreciates that. But that's what Fitz has done on pretty much every team that he's gone to. He's a mentor, and he's a great mentor. And I'm glad that Fitzpatrick is on this team, because I think he's going to do well for us this year. He's not going to take us to the promised land, but he's going to do well for us this year. Yeah, we're going to get it more into the football stuff on Tuesday on our regular scheduled program. We are both exhausted, but I kind of want to, just to talk about some more of the surroundings and the good people that we met. Ref the district; those guys are awesome. We had met Nathan on Nathan yesterday, hanging out, on the hill, and then Stoner today. Those guys were great. Well, LE from the WFT Declassified podcast was out there. If y'all missed his last show, both of us were on it. It was basically a podcast party in the VIP area. Kyle, Reed, and Hall from the Burgery Zone showed up today. We all hung out. A special shout out to Maurice. He hung out with us all day yesterday and came back to our Airbnb. And I gotta say, I'm going to let something loose here. Maurice is acts a little bit crazy when he's not on his podcast, but don't tell anybody. Don't tell him I said that. It was funny when we first got into the. I'm going to go ahead and say it, because Mike Reed is not ever going to let me let this down until we figure out who it was. But I got a little bit of a shock when we were walking across. So let me set the scene a little bit. You come into the training camp, and then the building where all the players get ready is to the right hand side, and you go left to go to to watch practice, go to the hill to where your regular tickets go. But to go to the VIP section, you have to take a right, and you have to cut across like the beginning of the field, where the players' hot tubs and the cold tubs and the weight room, and everything is on your right hand side, and you can see everything. So when we're walking across, you see all players in the hot tub, you see all players getting in the cold tub. So I'm just looking around, checking out my surroundings, and I look to the right where the player was, and guess what I saw, Keith?
Oh, I know what you saw, but why don't you go ahead and tell the people?
I thought I thought there was a Clydesdale hanging around, or actually no, I thought it was a tripod from a camera, a camera tripod. I look and see a big fucking dong and just like staring back at me. These players had no fucking, they didn't care for shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Holy shit. And I fucking stared at the ground. It's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That lucky motherfucker. And then, yeah, so that's been scarred into my brain. And I unfortunately cannot like remove the scene. Now, everybody, we've all been trying to figure out who it was. I don't know who it was. I think I've narrowed it down to two different players. It could either been Tamarick Hemingway or it was Cam Sims, because I know they had dreads. Other than that, who knows? Who knows? Other than that, everything was special. This was a special camp in many, many ways. And I feel strongly that this season is going to be special as well. Like again, not Super Bowl special, but just special in the fact that we've been away from football. It seems like in camaraderie for a whole entire year because of COVID, and hopefully that we're starting to get back to normal. We know that there's the other variant going out, coming around, and we're hoping it stays in the direction that we goes. Just being able to go to FedEx Field and meeting up with all these good people that we met, it's going to be special, man. It's going to be special. I want to give a big shout out to Trevor. He's a fun guy. We met him today. He had smiles on his face the whole entire time. He's a big supporter of all of our podcasts. And Josh Taylor hung out with us all day today. We just had a great time from beginning to end, even though Keith's head wasn't necessarily screwed on correctly since he drove into Richmond, because he would lose his head if it wasn't all the way on. What do you say, Keith?
Yeah. I mean, that's the truth and the reality, of this all. Just, man, I'm tired. This has been a long day, man.
I'm right there with you. Yesterday was so hot. It was so fucking hot. And I think that it like drained everything out of us. And like, neither one of us got good sleep last night because you snore like a fucking freight train. And you were like, I got it to piss like 5 or 6 times. I don't know why. I only had 3 beers last night. And I think it's been emotionally draining because we took everything in like so much. I think that added to it as well.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Again, like I said, I think this whole entire experience, and sorry, I know it seems like I'm not in it 100% today, and I'm super tired. There's a lot going on, and I think I'd like to get into it here in a minute. I was actually going to discuss my 4-point theory on what I think the team name is going to be, but I think we're going to save that for another day, because I actually would like to talk a little bit more about what's currently going on. And
this is going to be a Keith's Corner.
Yeah, you want me to go ahead and get into it now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do our Keith's Corner. I don't know what he's going to say, listeners, so the mic is his, and go at it.
So today at the end of the camp, they threw a kind of a little concert, and they gave us a taste of this new dance squad, co-ed dance squad. Also the drum line, which was pretty cool. I thought both presentations were done very well. I did take a look at I did take a recording of the dance team. And I immediately put it out on Twitter because I knew that people were interested, considering that there is a large percentage of this fan base who still wishes that, we had the cheerleaders. Okay. I'm not going to trash those people who feel that way, because I get it. I understand. But I shouldn't be surprised, but I am surprised at this overwhelming response. I wouldn't say that this video has gone viral, but as it stands right now, 67 retweets, 87 quote tweets. I don't even know the comment count. And then also 252 likes. I tweeted this out. Jason Wright is actually paying attention to this, but I'll get into that in a minute. So I did tweet it out. I did feel like it was gonna, pick up a little bit, just not as much as it has now. But again, I don't want to pretend like this is viral. I don't know what viral is like, but my mentions have been on fire with this. So, to my understanding, and Jesse, do me a favor because you're going to be able to do it better than I can, considering that you're actually, from the DMV area. What was your reaction to what you saw when it comes to the culture of the DMV? I really don't want to speak on the culture.
Sure. First thing that ran across my mind was this is DC. This is what DC is about. And the tweet and the comments that Keith is talking about, I I found it surprising as well, because it was, listen, and I put it, I commented as well on that tweet. We couldn't bring the cheerleaders back, or we should, and we shouldn't have. Okay, because of the scandal that has been going on. This was the next best thing. Okay, we're not only diving into the culture of DC, but we're diving into a culture that's starting to flood around the United States. This is life now. They're targeting the group of fans that are coming up now. Okay. And a lot of the negative comments are coming from older fans, which, okay, whatever, it's not, you have to move with the times, and this is what the times are coming to, and they are gravitating towards overall culture. And I just thought that the first thing that popped into my head is, this is what I see when I go down to downtown DC. Okay, when I go up there, when I go up there for weekends at a time, especially on my birthday, I see this. This is what I see. So why not bring it to the football team? Why not? It makes too much fucking sense, man. It makes too much sense. Go ahead, Keith.
The amount of hate, which I expected, I didn't expect as much. From an outsider coming in, I could tell you, I don't know the difference between, I don't know anything about go-go music, right? I hear about it because I follow a lot of people, from the DMV, but I don't know anything about it. It was a learning experience for me to see, because when I was talking to people afterwards, they were kind of explaining, the start of it was go-go and so on. And so I don't want to get in, too deep into the actual dance. I'm not going to be critical of anything. What I saw, I thought was great. What I saw, I thought would be entertaining to the fans. It's fresh, it's new. Maybe not fresh and new to other sports organizations. Maybe college does this, I don't know. But to me, it looks like it would be new and fresh, possibly in the NFL. Again, I don't follow other teams to know any difference. I don't go to I don't pay attention to any of that. I have nothing against the cheerleaders, right? I get it. Cheerleaders were a part of the history of the Redskins. Redskins name is gone. And it took me a long time to get over that. It took me a long time to understand that this is just the times that we're in. And I'm either with it or I'm against it, and I'm not going to be a fan. And my choice was, I was going to continue to be a fan regardless of what the name is, even if I don't like it, because at the end of the day, football in itself is a passion, for me. So I just chose, I'm not partial to any name. Like I don't really have a favorite. It's going to be whatever it is. But to see the different things that they're doing, I think what I'm learning here, just seeing the hatred comments that are coming from this, is it's new, right? It's new to everyone. It's not the traditional same old stuff. And again, no offense to cheerleaders, but I just didn't find what they did entertaining. I mean, a lot of people didn't stay to watch the entertainment. They went to the concessions. Maybe with this new dance squad, you're going to have a lot more people paying attention because it's relatable to the culture, in the area. And again, I'm not going to speak on the culture of the area because I'm not from it. I don't know it. but I'm willing to learn it, right? I think that's very important for outsiders coming in as well. You're learning about culture of other states. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. I thought it was fantastic. I'm not going to tell people to get over the fact that there's no more cheerleaders. I think people aren't understanding that the majority of the cheerleaders that were here before are actually on this dance squad. I do have another opinion, and it might be an unpopular opinion, and I'm not going to get into it because I don't see the need to. There's a no win in this situation, but I think that it's getting unfair, negative comments for a major reason. And I guess I'll just let people see for themselves. And if they listen to this show, gather what you think I might be thinking or reach out to me privately. And, and I have no problem having a discussion, but I think a discussion is healthy. But I think that these folks are getting judged unfairly in this. And I can tell you, Jason is paying attention to that tweet because there was a friendly debate going on. We talked about the guy earlier. His name is Yogi. He wasn't following me. Him and one of the ambassadors. Man, you gotta forgive me. What was his last name? You gotta forgive me. What was the guy's name with the beard? Jessy, you're on mute.
Are you talking about Doug Rose?
Yes, yeah. Doug, if you listen to the show, man, I highly apologize. My brain's fried, man. So I apologize for, I met you today and a super friendly, nice guy, man. I can't wait to do more ambassador stuff with you and get to know you better. So my apologies. Doug, they were having a friendly debate, right? And in the end, Guy Yogi was like, hey man, thanks for the debate. Usually these, turn out pretty crappy, but both parties were willing to listen to each other. And I didn't read the whole thing because honestly, I'm getting 20 plus tweets every 2 minutes. So this is going a lot more crazy than I thought. But Jason Wright liked that tweet, which means that he's seeing what people are saying. So I'm interested later on down the road to see if I can poach from Jason what his thought process was. Did he, when they knew that this was going to get put out by somebody, what was their reaction to how people were feeling? Did they see this coming? Right. We got a lot of positive comments too, though. So don't get me wrong. I still feel like the ratio is more negative. I'm pretty irritated about that, to be honest, because I guess maybe for the past 2 days, we've had such a positive experience in everything that we've done and seen. And I wish people could see really how much the guest services team, the ambassadors that were there, not fan ambassadors, but the ambassadors of the event, really how much heart and soul that they put into this to make sure everyone was having a good time. And I think that right now, the way that I'm feeling is I'm super disappointed, man. It's kind of like it's bringing me down a little bit because I think I just would rather see more positivity. And listen, that's crazy coming from me because you guys know, for a long time, I was always that negative dude that trolled, but today I walked out of there feeling like, all right, people got to see the true, real, actual Keith. I'm just a passionate fan, man. I hate when my team loses. I didn't know anyone, right? So I didn't care. But now that I'm meeting people and, we're all doing good things with the things that we're doing, I'm a little bit more concerned about being on the positive side of things. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I'll still be me. Team sucks. I'm going to call it out, right? But I know I'm long-winded here. I just got a lot of thoughts as this is going through. I guess, my wheels are spinning right now, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I just think that it sucks that, when you see a team going through all this effort and then people are shitting on the product when it comes to something new, kind of brings me down a little bit, man, and like I said, I know that Jason Wright's, watching. So I think, I'm going to follow up on what we're talking about here. I'd like to poach from him. I don't want to do it today. I just don't think it's necessary, but I want to poach from him what his actual thought of that, tweet was, because again, they are not just paying attention to, my tweet. They're paying attention to whoever he's following. He's paying attention to their tweets. He wants to see fan reaction, right? And he's going to get different perspectives from different people that he follows. So I am going to reach out. I want to follow up. I want to, kind of have an idea on our next show on how this is going. But, to the people that listen to this show, man, what I saw live, and I think some of the others can contest to this as well, is, and give it a chance. That shit was good, right? That shit was entertaining to me. I'm sorry. Pom poms just don't do it for me. Never have and never will. And that is no disrespect to the cheerleaders of the past, to the present. It's just, we're in different times now. And if our team name is changing and all these cultural things are changing and we're preaching culture, this type of stuff that they're doing, I think resonates, in my opinion, with the culture of the DMV. And I'd like to see it move forward. I'd like to see it get bigger. And I'd also like to say, with the drum line that I did not record, I'd still like to see the regular band come out too, right? They can do different things with the band. It doesn't have to be just the drum line. So there's a lot of opportunity here. I think that people just have to be reasonable with why they dislike something. Sitting there and saying something is trash and not giving a reasonable explanation tells me that you weren't going to accept it whether it was great or not. You're too focused on bring the first ladies back. Man, stop it. For what? Give me an R, give me an E, give me a D, shut the fuck up. I don't care. Like, that doesn't move me. But dancing with music and learning about other culture, that stuff moves me, and it should move other people. So anyone who listens to this, on a serious note, give shit a chance, man. And yes, maybe I should take my own advice, because I didn't give Washington football team a chance, right? I absolutely trashed it. So what people are doing now is fair, and I'm not going to, and like, there's no way I can comment. I mean, it's just insane. I'd like to comment to everyone, but I can't do it. So I guess just what I'm saying is, learn from my horrific takes and experiences. Give it some time. Give it a try. You're probably going to warm up to it. It happened with me with the team name. And if it can happen with me with that, it can happen with people who know the culture and can respect the culture, and then allow outsiders like me to be able to come in and learn it and also respect it as well. So that's it for Keith's Corner.
Yeah, no, well said. People like people will just shit on something just to shit on something too. That's nothing new. I there what My 2 cents on it. I was I was moving, man. I actually I was into it. Like, being there and watching it live in person. There might have been a different feel than just watching it on your phone, but it was energetic. It was fun. I was shaking my booty a little bit, man. I actually got into it. I was impressed. I don't understand the uproar about it. I really don't. I think I think it's going to be great. And if you can't open your mind and try to look past the past, man, it's not there anymore, and it's time to evolve. And that's what Washington is doing. They're evolving into something that's different, and it's for the better. It's I think some of the comments on there are just, it's like you said, they're not giving no reason. Oh no, it sucks. Why? Why does it fucking suck? Huh? I mean, like you said, there's no pom poms. Okay, fucking stick a pom pom up your asshole. I don't give a fuck. You weren't here. You didn't see it. You didn't. The whole fucking crowd was into it. There were quite a few people there. The whole fucking crowd was into it.
First, it started off, it was shocking, I think, to people. I didn't think we didn't know, no one knew what to expect, right? So I think it was shocking. And once people then had their eyes set and they saw what was going on, because again, it started with the the guy down at the bottom who was doing a lot of acrobat stuff that I could never do in my lifetime. I can't even
Yeah, doing all the
somersault.
flips and
Yeah,
handsprings and all that shit, which is
bro,
okay.
bro, I
Wow.
can't even
Yeah.
stand up. I can't even stand up and bend over and touch my toes. Okay, so who am I to sit here and judge these people, right? But I think people were watching that, and then when the dance, when the squad came up on stage, like, and then I guess it was, now correct me if I'm wrong, in the beginning that was go-go music type beat type going on, and then it faded off, right? Like it turned into something else. Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, it
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So again, I don't know what go-go music is. I mean, look, I listen to Tupac and Biggie, and they're both dead. So what do you want me to do, right? And 10 years from now, I'll be dead. So I have no idea, right? But again, so outsider looking in, and maybe people will say, well, that's why you liked it, because you didn't know about any, whatever. The idea, I think the thing is people need to be a little bit more open-minded with the change. It was a hard lesson for me to learn, and that's why I said Keith's corner. I didn't want to come in and start ranting and raving and cussing people out. I actually wanted to be serious, in this moment. And again, I know we're talking a little long about this, but it's something new. And I think people should just do the best they can to embrace. I don't, even though I personally think that the cheerleaders did not entertain me, it doesn't mean that they didn't entertain other people. I get that. But this is 2021. This rah stuff is done, man. But
No more
dancing
go
to,
team go.
that's what I
Yeah, that's done. That's over with. Okay.
that's what I
I mean,
mean. Well, listen, cheerleading let me just bring this into, and sorry to cut you off. Cheerleading competitions, right, are typically not done at football games. The competitions are, held. And what are they doing? They're actually dancing. They're dancing to music, right? It's
100%
not
right. Their routines are so different than what they do at games.
correct. What they do in games is actually a lot of the stuff that they do, I don't think they can do. It's only legal for competitions. Now, again, I could be talking out of my ass and don't know, but these are not typical cheers that they do. It's competition. It's a lot of dance involved with cheer mixed in it as well, which, whatever. So like I said, I don't mean to be long-winded about this topic of a dance squad, but my point in this whole thing is, if I can begin at my age and my generation, okay, again, for the people who don't know, I'm 42 years old. If I can learn to embrace change, people should try to do the same thing. Now, to be fair, the people that I'm kindly calling out, maybe you just need time, because I did, right? So this isn't necessarily, let me knock at people for having a different opinion than me. This is a little bit different than how I would have gone in my past, actually. I'd have been trolling this whole thing, just to piss people off. But I'd rather have an actual conversation about it. Like I said, sorry, podcaster or people that are listening, chances are you'd prefer to hear us talk about football. But being that this was the first look at something new, I think people should, give it some time, embrace the change. If it's something you don't know, learn it. Let's all learn something. Let's all enjoy something. Let's enjoy this new entertainment that they're bringing to the table. And man, let's just move forward and have a good time. Even with our team isn't doing so well, cuss them out, but continue to support is the way that I see it. So my bad, y'all, for my energy level being down. Not that it was ever always up, but that's really all I have in this. I wanted to keep this serious because I don't know, man. The negativity on that really bothered me. So figured I just want to talk it out, get it out of my head. I know that Jason Wright's watching. So like I said, Jesse, I'm gonna poach him. I'm gonna see if I can, talk to him, get his thoughts on what his opinion is. Did he expect, were they expecting to have a half? Is it kind of like the name change? Because they're expecting the same thing to happen. But if this amount of people just on my tweet are passionate about a dance squad enough to either say that they're trash or that they like it, I can only imagine what the fuck it's going to be like when team name gets announced.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It's going to be nuts. We know that. We know that's going to be nuts. Listen, that's all the time that we have for today. We are going to be back at it on Tuesday. Again, I want to thank all the people that came out to us, that we met, that we hung out with. Jess, Washington Hokie. It was great to meet her. Colin, I think Dumphy. He was cool to me. Again, Trevor, Josh Taylor, Rio, Jalen from the Bleeding B&G. The list goes on and on and on, and I can't think of every single bit. What's that?
Trev.
Yeah. That,
I don't know if you said him. I'm sorry, but yeah.
And I mean, we just met and hung out with so many people. We're beat tired, we're dead tired.
I gave out hugs to everybody.
Yeah,
just so everyone knows.
It was super cool, man. It was super cool. We had a great time. And I think people should get real excited about what's to come. This organization, again, I know I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but they're moving places. They really are. Things are definitely changing. You can just feel it. The whole atmosphere was so different than in years past. The energy level is fucking skyrocketed. And it's fun, it's exciting. I'm like, I can't wait till the next gathering. I'm hoping to make it on the 6th. I'm going to try really hard to get up there, but I know for a fact that the red zone lot during the season is going to be popping. We're going to have so much fun. We can all get together now. We can all go root on the team that we love so dearly. We can talk trash on Fitz or fucking somebody for dropping a pass and losing the game or fumble, but we're going to do it in a way that we haven't done before in the past. We're going to do it with optimism, because that's what you should have. You should have optimism, like, period. If you don't, then you need to climb out whatever fucking rock that you're hiding in now, because I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak. And it's not just Ashburn syndrome. I see it. We see it. The people that are there, that are following this team every single day, even the media, they see it. They see this fucking change, and it's so long overdue. I strongly believe in do theory. Even though it hasn't worked out for our Washington football team. But now that we have the right people in place, we're due for something good to happen. And this shit's starting to do it right before our eyes. And with that, Keith, you got anything else that you want to say?
Yeah, I got one last thought. You said the term drinking the Kool-Aid. Man, I used to use that against people all the time. I'm like, man, you guys are over here drinking the Kool-Aid. You're caught in the moment. And I chugged the whole glass the whole time I was here of Kool-Aid. I'm caught up in the moment. But it's because I feel like it is trending upward. Hopefully it does not trend downward, but I'm different, man. I don't know. I'm just different in the sense of I'm drinking the Kool-Aid because I like the product on and off the field that I've been seeing, and I couldn't be happier to be a part of a little bit of it, whether it be, season ticket holder going to the games, whether it be going to the events. It's just the idea, like I said, of meeting people. Also, for the folks that are listening, we're getting a lot of people reaching out. Chris Bryan of the Hog Farmers dropped. We talked about it in our meeting. I didn't know it was going to be a thing, so I'm going to kill Chris. But week 1, we're going to be doing a little tailgate situation where we're going to try to cook up hot dogs. You like to come and have some hot dogs and give a donation. There's no set price, whatever you feel. If it's 50 cents, if it's $1, that's fine. Everyone's welcome. We're going to have water there. I will say this, what we're going to not only need help with volunteers, so to speak on this, maybe have a couple grills going. John has a grill, I have a grill. If anyone else wants to, bring a small grill and kind of help with this process, if people want to bring hamburger buns, I'm not going to do, or I'm sorry, hot dog buns. We're not going to do hamburgers. It's just too much. Like hot dogs is quick and simple. Anybody wants to bring buns and packs of hot dogs, definitely do so. Let's see if we could raise some money for these guys. Again, just in 2 days, I received 8 referrals, so that's 8 more kids that are into the program, which is fantastic. But we really need the help on all ends. We need donation help. We need help on the forefront to have this tailgate type event. So if you guys are out there, man, come support us. And thank you to everyone who has reached out from on Chris's tweet when he announced it, saying, hey, listen, you want to help volunteer, because that's absolutely amazing. And this, honestly, and Chris, forgive me if you listen all the way through for cussing, but this is what it's fucking all about. It's all about us fans doing things for each other. And at the end of the day, not losing focus. It's for the kids. When I say kids with pediatric cancer, it's for kids who are there at the games. Let's just be responsible adults, have a good time. I met this beautiful, my heart melted, man. My heart absolutely melted when I met this little tiny young fan. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, go check out, my Twitter. I posted on there, asked her dad if it was okay. He was super cool about it. Melted my heart, man. Just such a beautiful little girl. You could tell she had such a good heart, man. That's the future. That's the future of our fan base. Let's take care of these kids all the way, even, in general. Let's do it for the kids. Also, I want to say I also recognize or saw Bobby Hutton, as we know on Twitter at Bobby Hutton. Little kid came up to him, happened to recognize him. Bobby's a familiar face, out there. He goes to training camps all the time. Played basketball with this little kid, and the kid happened to recognize him. And without hesitation, Bobby pulls out a hat that was autographed from some players and also had a playoff towel. And he's like, hey, man, here, you want this hat? Take this hat. Put the hat on the kid's head, gave the kid a towel. Like, man, it's shit like that makes me want to continue to be a good person. And man, I just was very happy to witness that. So it's just heart. It's overwhelming, but it's also, to me, to see all this happening, but it's also heartwarming as well. It's just a beautiful thing. And now that I'm at my age, I really can understand the thought process of where's our future, and it's these kids. So let's just let's keep that in mind and really start everybody chipping in and doing good things for each other. I just, ultimately, overall, you can't go wrong, man. I eat, everyone else eats. Jessy eats, everyone else eats. We all eat together. We all sit at the fucking table and eat together. And that's what it's all about. So, Jessy, again, I'm long-winded, man, but just got pretty passionate about this kind of stuff. So, man, let's just keep rocking it. We got a whole season to go. Love everybody.
Definitely. Well said, Keith. Well said. Well, again, we'll be back on Tuesday. You can check us out on YouTube. Please subscribe and hit the bell. We're on every podcast platform out there: Google, Apple, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Drop us a comment in our DMs if you want us to talk about something on the show, or if you have any issues, or you just want to talk, man. We are all about building the relationships, and I think that's one of the most important things that I've taken away from this weekend is expanding my role with my fandom, and bringing people together and meeting new people. And I just want to continue to do that and to have fun and just be out there, be out there, and you know, we're always willing to lend an ear, and to talk, and to have good, hearty conversations, and even back and forth, man. But for the good of everything, it's for the good, and it helps. It also helps the soul, tell you the truth. I think we've all been locked up for so long. It just feels so good to let it out, and to have fun. And that's just the whole thing that I took away from this weekend. So I am excited to have it continue. And yeah, that's that. Uh, you can catch Keith at K Cheese Skins 26, me at Jesse's 24, JESSYS 24. And I'll see y'all bitches later. Hail to the fucking team.